Ghana de Shmaima ya mamunyina so ema mwakwaba edeba fache TV so anwumrei ensem SCC ewo oman Ghana mo ebi eni ato ebo ase aboabo no afri ensem trefo pono so amasamufo aso ne so proje mo pesima kanfo yebrenie se ye bekenkan ede so mo ensem no edoso yenhwe de ebedi akotene ne bi Shaya maku enum asia abeye emra Ghana mra shebedafo aye eho adwuma awi aban ebo amaniese electronic road toll ya woka ho asem no wono egu enhyehyɛ so enche adwumaku a wode be hye ne nsa no one mo bebo ho amane amoman no ehun ena ye rakisi ejaben wono na ye special prosecutor wode to civil society organizations e wo oman mu anim se OSP atna ye no wono mo nya wafam de bia wo betumi anyi si ho ebra woguso na wo kutu katasehye ase ebusuya de ebobo so ino afoforo pi ka ho ni nyina dika edi hye edi tie na anwumrei yade don hwere baako ebebe edi asomo ewo fache TV so say anwumre no nsia kase a yato din se prime time kase ebesan etwagu ewo Facebook eye fache TV sa na YouTube so eye fache TV GH baby ya benya kwan no join ye no ya no like ya share program no na obi anya bi ahwe ya boabo ansemi nyina no edi akogu www.facheonline.com e ho so kwa wo bekenkan bi apesima kafo anwumrei ya gebre na ye de kase ni nkyeremu ebremo eyeme AFIA chumu wa ketri mene
Obrempong akwesi Jaboa.
Ye twa ye ho tiawa aba na kase ni nkyeremu no ye de ato aso.
Abusiyama yenhye kase na se emfamfiri His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na se ye enedai wode ne kyeredua asan bill makomako enum ase ama enei wagye atom ama na abeye emra se de oman Ghana ye nkyekireye asi etie no yamamuo eho ensensem ene se ansa na emra bi ebetumi aba betena na ye de dwuma wo man nemu no ese fata se ekopie mu ewo emrahye bedwafie na wonum ebobo ho so saadwen na wowie no ogitumu amampanin atimi ade ne kyeredua asan ase ama emra no atimi abawie mu die na no ena enei wonum ade bill makomako enum ene koto ni table so ede ma no na bill no ena edidi so yi Security and Intelligence Agencies Act 2026 wonum eka ho bi sanso ena the University of Engineering and Agricultural Science Act and also 2026 the Ghana Deposits Protection Amendment Act 2025 Growth and Sustainability Levy Amendment Act 2026 the Education Regulatory Bodies Amendment Act 2026 we any bill ahodua emrahye bedefo ebo akire edikogu John Dramani Mahama His Excellency ne pono so na enei wagye atum na sede wagye tum mu no sede sikoye sei na oye no.
I've signed 5 bills into law. The first one is the Security and Intelligence Agencies Act 2026. What it does is it removes the Office of Minister of National Security and frees the President's hand to appoint any minister to supervise the security agencies. It also reverts the name of NIB, National Intelligence Bureau, to Bureau of National Intelligence. And so it becomes BNI again, so that it sorts out the confusion between that security agency and a very well-known Ghanaian commercial bank. Then this, the University of Engineering and Agricultural Sciences Act 2026. It sets up another university in the eastern region at Bonsu with 3 campuses, a main campus at Bonsu, second campus at Ohau, and the third campus at Achirenswa in the Ahafu region. Then this is the amendment to the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act. As you are aware, the act was amended to increase it from 1% to 3%. And so this act reduces it again. That is the levy on mining companies. It reduces it again to 1% because of the introduction of the sliding scale for royalties. And this is the Ghana Education Regulatory Bodies Amendment Act. It amends the act to take away the obligation to charter by universities. The final one is the Ghana Deposit Protection Amendment Act. This is an amendment to an original act that is supposed to guarantee deposits of the public that is held in commercial banks or financial institutions.
Yada so ewo Ghana mampani John Dramani Mahama na kache na wade to Ghana fo nyina anim sesesei wo hunu so obi a hwe animu sekane omai photo samfo yera Kenneth Oforiata wade ni be free America abedru Ghana ha no abegina mra no sede special prosecutor Kisia Jaben ehwehwe no nanso Ghana fo nka wakoma ento wonyam won mugu so ewo enkrata mu enhyehyɛ mu ani dwumadi ahodo mu a efa mra kwan so a wo hwe ni mu se enche US for ebeye extradition process no na won adi wowura no aba abedru omampani John Dramani Mahama say baby asam no akoduru nya Ghana for asam kra US for ne said won momra ne nhyehyɛ etie enti ema obi ampiapia abamu mpanimfo se na hia sese Kenneth Oforiata ba enti wo muntutu America enya niam eni kwan se won moye ebra ye kasai I see you for an ache ora Kenneth Oforiata wa America. Ni nyina gina na kwantuo. Ene ne nkrata enhyehya ahodo bebre eho. Na Office of the Special Prosecutor Kisia Jabenda no so hwehwe ne dendenden ewo Ghana ha. Ejina SML ene GR for deal bia ebra na wo ye oman photo samfo former finance minister no won mo ye ho. Kwadu ya wo de tentam no bie no eye conflict of interest. Enna wonambo apaye kwan so am oman Ghana aboka. Na se beye ye obeba Ghana ha no obegina mra no na asem no aye dendenden atwetan e de am o my Ghana mampani se American fo gu so eni kwan se Ghana fo eye ne se wo monye ne ntentem wo moma kwan na wo mfa mra anya adwuma pepepe ne brepem wo mo wie bibia Ken Oforiata obeba no abeyi ne ho ano.
I cannot comment on the extradition of our former finance minister because it's in a different jurisdiction and I have no control of it. All I know is that Ghana has put in an extradition request, and so we just have to be patient for the laws to play out in that jurisdiction, and whatever the eventual decision is, we cannot change it because it's not within our jurisdiction, and so we just have to be patient and see what happens. But I know there are 2 parallel issues. One is the extradition request by Ghana, and the other one is the immigration issue. And the arrest was made by ICE for violating immigration status. But then also there's the additional issue of the extradition. But like I said, it's all in the hands of the American judiciary, and it's not within our effort to influence that. And so let's just leave it and see what comes out of it.
Sankomo nyina no Ghana mampani ene civil society organizations ekwaku ahodo ya won mo kabo mufo ayeka be wo mufo wo Ghana ha na hia ye ewa abankesie ma woni won mo edi ya fe wasan ekasa efa Ghana mra ene atemo adwuma ne nhihya ahodo pii ho ena watch say bremu aban aye krado se wonmo ebehye ama omanfo a wonmo edi dwuma ahodo bi a amfa mra kwan mu nyina no wonmo atimi atoto niema na de wode ne gina emra no abeye yie no waye ne sa so sen ho nkomo nso eba mu ena wo se wonmo ebehye aban lawyer paniden ama obia ya enam ne nsa so na wadi dwuma bi adaache Ghana fo betimi abodi aka say scandal no ode abeforfore mahama aban na ede animguase aba no wonmo hye etu won so sa na emra etumi aye adwuma.
Recently we've been discussing outsourcing some of the docket building. I remember when I came into the presidency in this second incarnation, I said the whole of Ghana was a crime scene. There are some cases that we're even now finding out. I mean, there are some audits that are coming that are showing new things that we didn't even know about. In all the work that the oral committee did, it flagged 32 cases. And out of those 32 cases, the processes have gone on. The minister has the statistics. Investigations are advanced, some are in court, others are being prepared, the dockets are being prepared to be taken to court. But even outside the 32 cases, there are new cases that crop up that we didn't know about or even didn't envisage. And so the way to go is with the constraints of the investigative bodies and the Attorney General's department. We are exploring the possibility of finding some private legal firms to help in docket building and building the cases so that we can send them to court. But once it gets to the court, we don't have control over the courts. The law must take its course, and as I said, justice is in the bosom of the judge, and they will determine eventually whether a person is guilty or not.
Omampani san ekasa efa nansan fango ehonsem ya mane free MPA abeto dwa se free chineko emu ebepeja akosoro ne ho ena wo kire se emfa ho ne se de wiase amansan won madwaman so ya na eniema esakra nyina na ban abone ho modern papa sa wode nhihye begu akwa mu se de be ya fango peja ekwa amansan dwa sokra no a ehun sunsanso no enka Ghana de hye bebre na so ba bia edro no de wo sha said yantokwa ekoso ewo Middle East no a amafa ngobuo no kwa na ekosoro nanso Ghana fo yam nhihye won mo kra won koso an ka wakomanto oyam aban ebetu anamo bia ya esefata ahwese wono epeja fa ngomu kra no a wo ha no enye kakraka waka esisudua se development levy eye 1 Ghana womo de to fa ngo 1 liter bia so no obehye so ode be ya adwuma ye na afi wasan ye nsakraye ewo petrol buo ewo MPA ene atenaya hodo a won mo edi fango ehudwa no.
Things were sailing quite smoothly, and indeed we're beginning to enjoy some of the lowest fuel prices in a long time. Unfortunately, they say man proposes, God disposes. I don't know what came into the heads of Trump, Netanyahu, and all of them to start this war. But unfortunately, while the CD remains stable, if this had happened when the CD was at 17, we probably could not have been able to survive. But the good thing for us is that the CD remains stable, and so the push factor in the oil price buildup is not coming from the currency, because happily the currency is remaining stable. The push factor is coming from the price of crude oil and finished products. And so far, we've absorbed it. It's not affected us as much, but if this thing continues some more, then we'll have to take some decisive decisions. Some of the weapons we have is to look at the margins to try and cushion consumers, and then also look at the recently imposed 1 CD development levy to try and cushion consumers. But my hope is that sooner than later, this war will come to an end, and we'll see more stable fuel prices. But for now, government remains concerned because fuel prices move the transport sector, and the transport sector is the main driver of inflation. If fuel goes up, the cost of transporting food items goes up, and it affects the inflation in the food basket. And so I'm happy we have thinkers like Duncan and Co. We're all looking at what is going on and praying that the war comes to an end. But if it doesn't, what other methods can we use to cushion the fuel price so that we don't see an increase in inflation?
Abusia yeto aso ewo sa enkomodie noa emu wo kasa ho dwumadie ya ekoso ewo Ghana mampanyin natena ye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama sanso ede nsem ne bi eka ho na ensem a woka ede aka ho ne se de eyeye nyina ye nimsem ewo my Ghana mu na ne nansen eno anana wo bia nano daso na woka eye recruitment, security recruitment. Se ye for Ghana mobunu ama wonu modi juma aboa ama Ghana bambo mu otimi ayere no. Eno ena mampani ede na no atomu bie. Se Ghana adehye ene mabunu ahodo asabi woni adwuma ye. Wonum ebekeka wonsase na 220 Ghana cedis. Wonum afa ede akoto form. Nanso ebeduru honum no na yamfa wonum adwuma no. Na ne eye krono ena na aban ne mpanimfo ebo emabunu no. No ena mampani ade na no atomu bi no kire se wono kura no waye na adwense wo betena se na wonum aye mu hwehwemu pa ade akosiase se fiko no wahu kwampa wo de befa so se de beye a enemremu no anase efri enne ede koyanimu no se ekwan nyaba se wonum efa mabunu ewo bambo adwumaku ahodo num wo my Ghana mu a enkoye se mabunu no ankasa ebeti sika ede akoto forms na mom wonum ebehu kwampa wo de befa so na so no wayire emrem na wahunu se wo bibia da ansa na yebetumi afa no no na ne wafa emrem ahodo enema ahodo pimu ya emrama ne kwan ema ne tumi edi dwuma se bambo adwumakuo ni wo my Ghana mu ebra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi nkomo no ensem se bi ena ode tuja.
If you send your recruits to, for want of a better place, let me say Boko, or let me not use only Boko, Nkwanta, or Sampa, or anywhere there are flashpoints and there's action, and there's an attack. Sometimes the 65% aptitude people will be the first to run. The 40% aptitude, because he's brave and courageous, might be the one who will stand and repel the attack. So aptitude doesn't carry that. It's not only aptitude. Because of digitalization now, we want the digital this thing, we want it to be transparent and things. But when the security says, when you come under fire, sometimes it's the 65% and above who will run first. So I'm saying let's find a way of combining not only the aptitude, but the other features, you know. And so we must be able to see as many of them, see what their physical build is. You can tell, you know, sometimes from psychological testing, what the person will do under fire and all that kind of thing. So it's a lesson for all of us. And like I said, we'll continue to take from that database so that we are able to absorb as many of them as possible. But I also think that in future, we should look at the fees they pay. You understand? To pay an unemployed, they still pay 200 cedis, and then you get in your mobile phone disqualified. I mean, it's a very painful thing. So let's look at the fees they pay, and I'll make any pronouncement on that, but it's something that we'll bring up to cabinet and take a decision on. Thank you.
So sourcing eye enkomobia ene age ne home na pa nansen yimu ni nyina ene sen ene se big push program ya mampani ade ato ho se wo hwe ade aboa ama akwan hodo a ewo omai Ghana mu yetimi ayiyi na aboa ama akoniabadie atimi awie peye ewo omai Ghana mu na no ena so sourcing ehun nkomo no apagya pa amrase bedwafie wonu mu di na honorable Gavin Kwame Agboja edi ho enkomo ewo mrase bedwafie no chese ni nyina aban wonu mu bomodin bia se wobehwe se enioma ebetumi atoto yie na His Excellency John John Dramani Mahama ono ankasa agina simpie so de nano ato sansem nim se wo hwe se Fourth Estate wonum report ya ebaye efa so sourcing ne ho no ono ankasa afra wonum se wonfa mrai na wonhwem yie se de be ya wo behunu na montuo bi a wo betu ede afa ho.
I note the recent expose by the Fourth Estate on procurement processes related to the award of contracts under the Big Push program. While sole sourcing is legal under certain circumstances under our current procurement law, would all agree that open, transparent tenders are always preferable for achieving competitive pricing and value for money. Although we've seen snippets of the investigation from the media, I've instructed my office to obtain the full detailed report from the Fourth Estate and to conduct a study of the various allegations presented in the report. We're also requesting the Ministry of Roads and Highways to present a detailed response to those allegations made therein in order to inform government's action on the matter. And it is precisely for such situations that I announced that government will introduce amendments to the Public Procurement Act to limit single sourcing in order to promote greater transparency and ensure proper value for the money we spend on projects. I've also requested the Minister of Finance to fast-track the setup of the Independent Value for Money Office, since the amendment to the procurement legislation required that all single-source procurements be subject to rigorous value for money review. I remain of the conviction that single sourcing must be used as sparingly as possible and would consult with civil society on the new legislation we propose to use to restrict it as a method of procurement.
Yanto Kasiano Eswe na Yera governance Kwame Agoja ayo so afọ wo show meya kwan ne akwantempon esum. Wo ba man yesese de NDC aban ba ye won mo be share Ghana fo bo. Se road toll ya MPP fo twa mu obesan de aba na wo mo de ba. Wo sakra won mo de mu aye no abefo kwan so no wo mo guntoto so na enche. Adwumakuo ya won mo ede sa contract ne be hye ne nsa nyina no obewie hu adwuma na wo de amane no abeto Ghana fo anim na won mo ehunu ne ekro ene obanan eko tema motorway expansion project no eso ene contractor for won mo yesa adwuma na tretre mu ekotwetwen enkomo ene ode to wo mu say contractor for no enhwe se woni team a efi Roads Ministry no ebeka won ho abomu na won matimi aye design foforo ya wode sa electronic road tolling system no ebehye mu bie efri se won mudi kan eye expansion project no eho adwuma no na de si won mani so ene se wo beye physical tolling ene se nipa bekwa akotena to ho na obi twamu a na won ma bie no wagisika no na wasesa ama no wokọ Echire ya nsa na mpanimfo efa adwene se won mo befa no abefo kwan so na etimi ama fan ye ne pepepe ya da ne ho adi sika no amane ankwankodi obi abotom na se de esese aban enya sika no de egu o madaache akwan siesie e wo Ghana ha no wo motimi aye ne sa pepepe nti ebremu team ni mienu nyina nka wo hombom se de be ya obetimi aye nsakraya etiseye wadan wadi se tema motorway no won mo ACAC no wasan apejamu no what the $350 million ana ewramu wo gidi se won mo wi a to dodro obetimi agegye no ebeye de emu eduro na wo de ACAC akwan ahodo ye wo oman Ghana ha ora governance Kwame Abuja
within some of the corridors. So currently I think highways will guide you. What you are going to provide is to provide data and power access to where the countries will be, because somebody else is deploying the e-tolling. So I think it's very important for the consultant and yourself to work with highways currently to make sure that there's easy synergy between what you are doing and what will come by a third party the concessionaire on the motorway, because we're almost close to selecting concessionaire, and that will start interfacing with you to make sure that it goes seamless. So I think it's very important for you to take that into consideration. And you are right, the investment on this road is almost to $350 million. This is public money. Other people are waiting for their fair share of roads. So when we spend here, we should be able to generate some revenue to extend to other people. Otherwise, the story about us spending almost 70% of our road budget on only the big cities is not fair. We need to create some equity in terms of the way we do things. So the good thing is that the public is very much aware and is happy for the reintroduction of the e-tolling. We're going to make it as fair as possible and as easy as possible to pay. And we would encourage everybody that that money is not going to be set aside to be used to do any other thing apart from further investment on road, especially maintenance and other things. So I think it's a good time to deepen your collaboration with the highways to make sure that your amended designs conform with what they are intending to do on there.
Tema motorway akwan tempon no eso se wonum ehwe se obesiesie na watretre mu no honorable Kwame Governs Agboja wasanso edinsem bi atuja brand central for busa no se honorable na akwan da ben ene yebewie ene ode tuja sehwe aban ye bo ne homoden pa masika botin biada ehia contractor no na wode be ye kwan no aboa ama bibia akọ nanimu no aban etimi atua bibia ede ama contractor eno nti sesei se wone yen ekasai de aban no enne kabia ewo honom na wo ye de obetumi bia se sa temamoto we no ene obetumi asiesie na emu atrepa na aboa ma akoniabadie atimi akoyie ewo honom na wo wie ye no wo sere adrabafo ya wonum enam kwan ne so se wo sere wonum ewo mu se adwuma no edaso a ekoso wo kwan ne so eno nti wo kakai ewo ekwan ne so a bonya botrepa se de be ya ebeboa ama woni a woye adwuma wo kwan ne so no enso atimi anya kwan aye adwuma na woni a wodi akoniaba nso atimi anya baabi akọ na bibia akoso kama wo wie ikura no ene wo kire se wo hwe animu ase hwe be ekwan no wonum ebetimi awie wo be wie kura by August 2027 mu honom de na akwantempon ahodo a aban yi ede ne nsa ahyehye mu no watimi atene nsa ede afiri ho. Honorable Kwame Agboja.
Consultant, what is the new timeline that you are working with the contractor? Because that needed to be said, made known to us. What is your current projected completion date?
If in terms of completion date, that's 2nd August 2027.
So it ties in with the government's program to get many of these projects the government's end of 2027. Is a critical timeline on the president's major project 2027 to complete. So if it's August 2027, that works perfectly into the president's timeline. So we just encourage you to support them, whatever it is. If there's anything that will change this, please let highways know immediately, and we'll take the necessary action to mitigate the challenges.
Honourable Minister, what's your
the president's commitment to these projects is, first of all, to give opportunity to Ghanaian contractors. You remember, even when we were in opposition and this was awarded to Motor Angels and PPP, we thought once GOG or Government of Ghana is the one who is going to pay, then that this project might be given to a Ghanaian contractor. What we see here is no inferior quality than any contractor from Germany or Britain or China or anything. This is Ghanaians building their own infrastructure, and that is the point the president is trying to make. It retains the value here. It creates an opportunity for us to transfer knowledge amongst ourselves and build the capacity for even bigger things in the future. So we are excited that we haven't seen anything that makes us have a concern in terms of quality of work. It's as good as any work any contractor globally can do. So we are excited about that.
So you have come out to inspect them all.
We decided that before we
Ora Ben Saki, project manager at the Matema motorway kwanya wonum etretre mu no eno enwode to just say ane ayenokura wonuma sejumadi no ase na ade baako pa ene abo wonum abro na ama wonum atwentwen won nase Duroben kese ya ensuo efamu Ghana Waterford de ne bi ya ededa kwan ne so no ene Ghana Electricity Company wonum so ede ene polu akese ya esisi kwan ho no eno ya ade baako a wonum adwen ho a sebe ya wonum betumi apagya ede afiri ho na wotumi atretre kwan ne mu no eno na ankameya yese eyama wonum dwumadi ahodo a wodi ewo kwan ne so no atimi edile nanso emprempren no mu a wonum ye enseseye bia sede wobetumi na aboa ama enseseye atimi akọ nanim na wotumi awie ne bre esem sede Ben Saki eka no ni
sure that we complete the launching of the bins. Basically, we have 24 bins to launch. Each section is taking 6 bins. We completed the 6 sections, the last traffic management that we and then our program is that we are going to do this for the next 4 months. The first bin that we have launched, currently we are trying to link the bins, the joints, and then we cast in between them to make it complete. So that is why we are having a leave time at this time, just to ensure that the bin becomes complete. And then our next launch is going to begin on the 11th, from 11th weekends.
11th of April.
11th of April, we'll start the second launching of the other side of the 11th of April. We'll start the second, which is also going to take, we can cover the weekends to finish it if everything goes as it is like the previous one. Then after that, the same activity will go into a leave period where we have to now link all the joints and also complete. At the same leave period time, we'll be trying to demolish, dismantle the countries, and then we'll shift it to the other side around the Agramo side, and then we'll fix. And the same process will continue. So that's why it requires a lengthy time of the construction. But in between, the traffic is not going to block throughout as we tend to do. This time we launch within 3, 4, 5 hours, and then we free the traffic. So the same management style, when it comes to the fixing of the links or the joints, and then casting the concrete, we don't need traffic diversion. Basically, where we are trying to link, where we do some welding and some sparks, do fall on the ground. Those where we try to control the traffic to one side, and that one within 2 hours. When we after the welding, traffic is open again. So we want to assure the public that for the traffic management is good.
Eno eye tema motorway ho ensensem na sa akwantempon ho ensem yi so ena yebegina na ye ho mekase so yeba ya dede aka ebesom.
Yebema ashafo akwa babiem di abafache TV so enumre no nsien ye kase aya to this prime time eni eguso aye kenkan de som mo yento nsem no so ene o my Ghana nkasa ho dwumadie bi akoso a won mo de hwe asodie ni nsunsuanso papa efiri bra wote office of the special prosecutor no e de abra o my Ghana na ase e na kisi ajabe a wono ani o man kwadubofo sononko special prosecutor kwakasa aye wase Nasma waka nyina ne se ansan wo mobeti special prosecutor atnaye no nanka aban lawyer penny office attorney general's office ena ehye kwadu bia efa ketase hye ene proyensem hom nanso Ghana fortuna ase ehunu se aban susu ya wode aba se won mo behia atnaye bia wo bede ne ho obeye independent na watimi abeko etu ketase hye ase anase oba bebre ase na wonka Attorney General atnaye ho no ehia enti omo nyina jetu mu mebra abandon susue ba ye no wo mo ka say ye enti aban emfa special prosecutor atnaye no emra na sa gidie nu a Ghana fonya yeta aban achi no kra kire se esese OSP atnaye ni timi gina ni mudie mu na wo bo adwuma se de be ya akatase hye ne proye ya ekoso ewo Ghana nyumanyuma mu no nyina no bebrase na OSP atnaye ne betimi akoso ade ne ho aye independent na waye na dwuma wa bra bibia metwintwa na namu a ehia se civil society organizations CSOs ya won maye kan bia womfo ewo Ghana mamuo mu no won mu nyina boade won ho agimu bi Ghana fo nso eka ho na won matimi abo OSP atnaye ne ho bra yie fi se ono nko a entimi enye sa adwuma no ti wasre CSOs ane Ghana fo nyina se wonmoa ema wonmo bambo enwiemu die na atnaye no entena ho afebo enkuntu ketase hye ase wasan adan wadi se wono kisi ajaben ne breso se special prosecutor se wo dai na adwuma mu eto ho a wo be ne sa pepe fi se wonim emra ene hyehyeye ya ebata na adwumadie ho
wants an independent institution to fight corruption separate from the attorney. And more than 50%, and with this I take pride in it, the majority of Ghanaians trust the office of the special prosecutor than any other institution to fight corruption. And with this, my job is done. However, I have started counting down my days to when I depart as the special prosecutor. When I become the former special prosecutor, I want to look back and say, civil society forged this office and civil society preserved it. It is your handiwork. Do not let it die. You recall what happened in 2025. Incidentally, it was our best year of performance. At the same time, it was our worst year of existential troubles. Why should Kisi and a few officers of the office of the special prosecutor be the ones always fighting existential battles just to keep this office running? Had it not been the good-naturedness of the president, the office would have been scrapped by the end of December 2025 in Parliament. Ask yourself, why? It is because politicians don't want us around. It is that simple. And why do they not want us around? Because we are bad news for politicians. And that is why civil society should keep it afloat. I am not known to be diplomatic. I speak what cares to me. The attempt to scrap the office of the special prosecutor last year is not dead. And this is the charge I'm giving to civil society. It is not dead. It is life. But we should not depend on the goodness of the president to say, withdraw it from Parliament. Rather, we should build this institution for the ages, an institution which stands the test of time. I was approached in respect of how to reform, and a lot of the talk I heard was revolving around me. And I told these well-meaning people that do not make proposals because of my need. Some may see me as good, some may see me as evil. But do not turn legal provisions around my traits and characteristics. In the same way, I'm saying, do not let this office's existence depend on the fact that the president wants it to operate. as we saw in December 2025. Secure it, bound it up, board it up well, and now we have a glorious opportunity with the Constitution review process. Let it be stamped in it, and we are gratified that the committee, the Constitution Review Committee, put such a proposal in it. Let it be well founded, let it be well clad, so that the next special prosecutor will not spend so much of his time fighting for survival of the office, fighting for survival of his position. It has been most unfair. It has not been for the best as far as our fight against corruption is concerned.
Omambia empuntuo ene ninkanko ebewie mudi na ejina brania ejina oman no bambo eso eno enam so bi ama enei Honorable Muhammad Muntaka Mubarake osofo ya wo hye afisem so ebo my Ghana mu enei wokopie mu ewo Public Account Committee na wokopie mu ewo honom na wode tuja na wosre mansini ahodo pii no aye wo my Ghana mu no se wonom nyina mpanifo adida no won hye se wobefa bambo ho ensem na wode ato won akoma so na waye wadwen se wobetu ho na mon ene wosre wonom se obibia enka ebeya sika ahodo a wonsa etumika no wonmoa na nka wonfa bi ensisi bambo aso ya ahodo pii abo mansini ahodo nim se de ebeya ebeboa ama bambo adwuma kuo no so etimi anya baby partner na wonum etimi edi won dwuma aboa ma enipa ahodo a etete mansini ahodo nim nyina wonum etimi anya bambo yie na aboa ma won dwuma ahodo so etimi akoso ebra Honorable Muntaka Mubarake okopie mu ewo Public Account Committee ensem say bi na wode tuja.
The security service look as if they don't belong to the community. So in fact, one of the things the current Inspector General of Police is trying to encourage is that you come and say, oh, can you come and build police station for us? They say, no, build it yourself. Because one of the things that we notice, during riots, the communities, if they build it themselves, they don't burn them. They usually go and burn the one that government came to build. I don't know, for whatever reason, they think that if it is built by central government, it doesn't belong to them. But if they did communal labor or they use their common fund to do it, that one day it belongs to them. So currently, one of the strategies of the Inspector General of Police is that you want police stations, sometimes I minute to him, can we assist and say, can we get them to build it themselves, then we'll send the personnel so that they will own it. So in line with that, I think it's a very laudable idea. We'll engage the Disassembled Common Fund Administrator together with the local government minister to encourage the MMDCs to own this. In fact, in my reading as Anthony, the last time I met the MMDC, I was telling them same. I said, why is it that you just think that after the security agencies, they don't belong to you? You chair the DISEC or MUSEC and you are with them. But there are issues, you make it as if it is only for central government. Try and be interested in some of the things that they do. In my constituency myself, even members of parliament like myself and you can also help. When I first became a member of parliament for Aswansi, there was only one police station, which was...
Honorable Muntaka Mubarake koso de nsem bi etwa so. Na ninchire mu nyina ene se aban yi ene private partnership enipa hodo a ankronkron agimaku ahodo no wonum ebeka bompa wobeka wontam abom na woboa ama biaya bambo agimaku ahodo a wo mamnu mu no wonum ebetimi anya baabi atena na akande ahodo a ehia wonum se wode bedi djuma aboa ma wajuma etimi akoso no watimi aye ede ama wonum.
We are already currently having a number of PPP. What we notice is that most of our business people do not want to come and meet an uncompleted project and say that, they should complete it for something in exchange. What they normally prefer is that we have a land, let's say, currently we have a PPP that is going on with police, prisons, fire. It's only immigration who do not have enough land. But prisons, if you go around Cantonment, around the headquarters, you see some building coming up. You have, let's say, 10-acre plot or land, even with sometimes infrastructure there, let's say the accommodation, someone comes in with a very good proposal. Can you give me half of the land? I will build 3, 4, 5 story to accommodate more than the offices that you are currently, accommodating on the whole of the 10 acres, and then in exchange for ABCD. And the number of that is already going on. One of the challenges that we are having is that if, for example, you go to the Tesano, We have these magnificent buildings for the police. I mean, if you ask someone to come to complete the uncompleted buildings, they are not interested. But
it means what you are putting on the table is not attractive enough. So maybe you should look at that too.
Well, you are right, because, for example, most of the land that we have in Accra are being occupied by officers. But I can assure you that we are equally interested in getting this thing done, and we'll definitely look at how we can include these uncompleted buildings as part of the land swap.
Rabotech Mining Company eye ejmeku a wonmo etufuma gudie na omaiga na mu heya na obi no ya wodi wonmo ejuma na make say wonmo chese wonmo contract ya wone Asanko Gold Ghana for ekọ emre bia etwemu no bibia bawieye amampanimfo ya san apagya contract ni mu biema ma wonma aye enigisem na kwantrafo pani a wada Rabotech adwumakuo no anom ene Alhaji Ali Ibrahim wotremu a ebra wone Asanko Gold Ghana for edi dwuma no na eniama ekoyi edu ba bi nso na akwakoye dede nyonyono enye dane a de wompe de wobehunu emfaso no so eba na akwakoye enigisem ama wonom na bakwasem a ode tudwa ene say afi 2002 ena wonmo ebie sa Rabotech atenaye yi a wonmo dia ne se woje contract akese edi free enyumaku a wonmo di sika kokko hudwa na wonwo aban etumi se wonmo etimi etufuma gudie na waya mine no ama wonmo nkakra enti ebra wonmo nya kwanya ene Asanko Gold for eto kese no ebeye enigisem ema wonom contract ne be wie nyina no na agire no ye ntanta se bibia ewie mu dia empanifo besan ma yakwanya na ebremu a wonmo dia akwanya fofora ma wonmo no die Alhaji say akoye enigisem ama wonom wose wo frase afi 2013 ena wone Asanko Gold for aye adwuma ahyase no die na wonmo tufuma gudie no enkuma mu kakra ena wonmo pagya mu ne ya wonmo asaya tre contract ni mama wonom no aye akwanya sa Rabotech for ekuta wonmo die mu na wayire wontam yiye pa na wotimi edi epagya fuma gudie a wonmo etuo mu sebe ya contract akese ebeba edi ama wonmo dachi bi.
Asanko has been a long-standing partnership since the inception of the mine. Asanko for started Juma way from the time Juma no you started the construction the processing plant now business no yeah na see we penny just that time no a general manager of the mine na anyone will start if you honum Juma ma Jumadi ma ye was asinu so nyina ne beba bia e foforo bia na wo mo ama Rabotech akwanya say betimi if I'm talking about opportunity, I would say Asanko has been one of the greatest mine in the country that giving local content opportunities to develop. Yes, fee baby yam funny say na ye juman kitinketi wo ho. Na de bia kwenya bia beba ese ye de improve your biano. Omo ma ye kwan say yen so yen you should try the opportunity. Na ne may be also ye ni 4 years there at the Kese Maye Ebema Rabotech services in the industry will be well endowed in terms of long-term planning, in terms of capability building, in terms of even re-equipping ourselves with in terms of human capital equipment. Any near maybe he said you might say more 4 years if I idea. And my say oboaboa ho ne niam ma say ohia bia no utimi adwen acquainting in the terms of planning and this is one of the major opportunities that has been given us. And the local content capacity of building now as a Ghana government has initiated, I would say Asanko is, if it's not first, he will not be the second among number 1 and number 2, because there are other companies too in that catchment area in the environment, in the mining environment. Asanko ama womusa kwenye womuso develop womuso ba nti
enti said ye muhunu no Alhaji Ali Ibrahim na niaje papa se watimi abone homode ama Asankofo asan ye hu ne mobo ama ne contract mfie na ebiem na opanipa be de akire ya wono so eneda Asanko Gold Ghana ano Dr. Charles Amwa to just say the ama one must sign at the contract and fear na biem asha Rabotech for one say ejuma one more sha se ne wo mo ye ye nyina ye de wo mani age ho a wakoma aton yem e wo ho
good day sanya money no actual mining the contract yankasa into mining service providers na the year 2023 and company a friend Rabotech assign to your contract so between a good year no na yenso in processing na at the end of the 2 years no omunim de echire no echire se ampa betimi enomo akoso ayadwuma intene dwumadi edi obroni ebeka se extension of the mining contract na enomo sign 2 years no na yes sign say the extending for another 4 years. So partnership we know need the home the partnership we send abeboa abano inshisaya ewo brofum ye kan local content sebema timamfo no so almost abedi animu sena His Excellency John Mahama, President of Ghana, say CCR no timamfo no say yenso drivers of the mining companies. With this no buasa na niswade hunu na CCR wo a local company or a mining to that level if it's a Ghana. The total value is about $400 million United States dollars.
Wo ejadiemu ensemu yemfa yani enkyeremu ewo Kumasi Ashanti region na ehonum na kejetia market dodo na efre no Dubai na sedie ejadifo ya wonum ewo ho petty traders wo kire ne se enkamea yese wonum atenase a na wode wani atoto ahwejanimu a de wo hunu ene se sa ejai ekuta hrenhren dachi bi no yanhwe yi a ebetumi akofa oyenne kase pa edi abre Kumasi ne montin enipa hodo ne adwadifo a wonum edi dwa ewo kejetia market no mu na no na yebusa wo press conference na nana Kwame wono edi ensem bi etudwa nana prempe nana akwasi prempe edi ensem bi etudwa na wo kire mu se wo behwe edwa kama ya mpanimfo akukuru edi esi hoyi a enkameya yese efi enfempim mienu ene eduonu baako na efiri honomo a ebesi enei se woni yen edi nkomo no fire certificate yanka ebo honom na ebehwe ama ejasehye ho nsensem no wonum atimi ahwe ne yie no ebesi nei certificate no wonim ba bi ewo ebi ni ho wobetimi akande ne nsasi ne bo se ebi ni ho saa so na wo kire se enchepi ene 2023 yehu se ejabi enso eto honom ene adwadifo ya wonum eho kan ye no ebesi samre enai won sikasam entimi ntoto yie adan ya insurance bia eni honom a etimi aba na abeso wonum asene we eye ade a eye yaudie pa edima adwadifo ya wonum ewo Kumasi kajetia anonti nana prempenom ene adwadifo ahodo a wonum eka won ne ho hye se wosere aban ne mpanimfo se wontu ho anamon se de be ya ebeboa ama adwadie atimi akoso ewo Kumasi ene ne monten so
ye mebi te se de si 2023 na bi CBM esan se emebi kase si a edwame gina bre no enye Ghana National Fire Service enim empanimfo ehwe edwan so nim ye be mamu adanse krata report aga hwe edwan so nim contractor aye afa edwan ho ese we are just waiting for say ada bibi besi na oya tira nye na bibi kase bia si a fire service impo entimi nso no fire service rabo kokoboy obia nim nanso obia anya bibia amfa ho abontesifo timi bewura edwan na droban a fire service we di du ja no pipe nano no yetimi betwitwa de ko obia anka ho hwe fire extinguishers yetimi wura edwan mu a ne abewia de ko wura edwan mu a smoke detectors detective alarm system nyina enye adwuma ajenka bibi isi anka beton kram obi hu se oye ne biba no enani nyina enye adwuma nanka solar panel ewo dwan mu a CCTV cameras ne ayina no na ko ma ho odin free solar nim ena nyina break it down Just be pure near my be blank koye ewo kejeta. Na sembusa ye busa ne say. So sika omanu edi remu $259 million project. Yanemo kasa no pay. Kejetia any insurance cover. Administratively, Kejetia enye fire wealthy. It insurance company bi am person odi ni sika e baba be Kejetia ho bra. Na de ebusa ni say, enkwesi da ban. When ana dwini Kejetia ho. When ana sese Kejetia adesoa otu ho anamon. Yega before aye die sika ni egetre abewuram edwaimu. Yenkwa enipa dodo a ewura Kejetia every 1 hour bia no. Enipa be 20,000 ewura Kejetia. Eti yenkwa so enkwesi da ban. Ni enfa enipa enkwa enwo atopre. Ti ho akwa hia. Yesra omampanyini. Yesra Kejetia board of directors. Enkratu ayatue eye anibresem na yankato enka ha yabesa to ho na mo akobia bia esasa yeko sakwa akobru se management we
Yada swa wajadi eni ehun sam emo Ghana emremu no so ye hoho na bedru o memu na pese obedi dwade obetumi aye abroso ane se obeye wholesaler obekwa akofa ne ma no duduo mu na wadane ede ama adwesu ahodo a wonmo eto na waton de amatemamufo na nso kamya ese ahoho a wonmo aba Ghana ha no aso a wonmo men oni samra no so enti Ghana Union of Traders Association guta ne nkrabata wa santimantem ha titire ni ya wodanom ede kokobo ma adwadifo a wonmo ya ahoho na wonmo ne Ghana fo nyina eche bodwa aye se enenkwa awieye no na wonmo nyina toto wonmo soto mu anya sa wonmo be hye won apam wonmo afri achemfo market titum na sede yewura Anthony Opon eba daybreak dwumadie so anopai na wone kwadwamafo esi nkonwa na wo kire no wonmo dikan akire emra no sede esie nyina ede ato ahoho no anim emedu baabi no wonmo nyina akọbenkro gitumu se enne March bosumede twato okra wonmo beja bodwa adwuma ne ye na wonmo asesa won kuku no wonkaka afri achemfo dwom enti nano de epa ho na wonmo nkoya wonmo a ebetuo
anamodi yetu a na fi se edu baabi na leadership no fi se ho no emwa enti yen jojo enti previous government no yako honorable Lanchematri na so to the extent say oche committee me ka ho na 2 o'clock na to bus mu na kwa kra because I dey channel pa wo meeting on kra 9 o'clock 10 o'clock 8 o'clock Eliza Hotel ene me meeting na ma yati committee ma e kasa ho no mfo mo nkra tamra na mo fi say bi no no matena mu han ma che o ma ware o mo yere ne ma han ti safo de ntimi ko na ka o mo maka na o mu ni sa nkra ta na mo ni nyina so de ke tumi pa mo nyina fe at a point edu ba bi na na resign Alan resign ye no so new minister ba say committee na you know report onye ready ye yentwen kakra so afedi eskakura ni on the sam na election be bam na ebedu samri aban foforo ba ye empese di ho ye be hia no kwan nti atoko so any trade minister edi nkomo ye ne finance minister edi nkomo ye ne GPC for edi nkomo all the security we say ni nyina no moji nkomo okwa munya abotre yenya abotre abaye hu se ba bi aduro de no eya frontigare nti ese itekan ho nti so ti ya am say somewhere December on no we be yokotuto awo no mo we see
nkran edwan
le bi kuma say ya ewo achemfo no no was phone accessories minua sisi say omo involve in phone accessories omo ton covers any one charges near you know so the whole nation omo ton handed that which make us Ghana for 90% ya
and I say
to the extent say Dubai inside Dubai market inside on monokra omo pam Ghana for nyina no take over you see it shouldn't happen and to shop no no me ya bam say ya mona mane na bibi say koso na say ke bona mane asan ina o ma yeko bi shop no the mo say emra ne entrance ye no matrance ye no anwumle kra ye ne e ma penyin ba ko me be de chiri ekohonom unfortunately next me any out of town you know kwa nsia you need JPC for boss share last 2 weeks at least Golden Bean Hotel you know na nyam nkomodie sisi ya yese ye ma hoho no this month ending. Omonaju to mum class on the
This
best
month ending, they new.
Yes. Omar plan the best day see mum up to this month ending. Into video chinekono. Yeah, first I want to be shop much and for no video. Omo if you on my any better shops.
Ora Anthony Opon eye dwamtenani de ma omei edwadifon kabomuko nkrabata wo asante mantem ha na auto se wo church anamo a won moto abesisa enne won mo ebehye edwadifo no ya won mo ya hoho na won mo atoto won so to mu ewo achemfo dwom no eho we so ne yegina ne de kase no abawie ye millennium construction ye de ho aseda nyina ema no wonom ho ne yekọ na wo ma aboye nchi dom akoton sase ya de to ama ye da ache no ama yen half plot full plot quarter plot baby a wo penu bia millennium construction and a mekamfo akira wo ene anwumre wo asase ne bi bibia bebom na opesika no dia ya de foforo na apesa wo ton a fa ko hye millennium fo nsa wo mbeton na won sa kasika no de akoye wa de wo pese wo si dream house esi wasase bia wata to order so a millennium and other show one monsa one betimi asi wo dream no ama na be reality bibia e fa dansie ho say ye niam na wo pe ato pillar most any blocks ne afofo bia de millennium akache e na abekọ e wo boshen na yas junction kumase he ya anasa fa wo numbers no egu screen ne so no na ne mpanimfo entwetwe enkomo midi e de AFIA chumuwa ketu enwumre menimenu abema
Obrempong akwesi Jaboa.
Eni abeso mo don hwe ba ku yeda mo nyina sene mo bre ya moje ehwe yen yakram.